and welcome. I'm Vanessa McCamley, a leadership and performance coach, facilitator, and the author of the book REWIRE for Success. Today, I'm speaking with one of the most incredible clients who has seen firsthand the impact of neuroscience-based leadership coaching. Joining me today is Cassie, the General Manager of Services for ANZ for GE Healthcare. We'll discuss her journey, key learnings, and the impact on leadership, decision-making, and performance for self and for her team. Welcome, Cassie.
Oh, thank you, Vanessa. It is my great honor to be here.
The first question, Cassie, is can you share a bit about your role and the key challenges you faced before starting this program?
Yeah, thank you, of course. So, Vanessa, as the General Manager for Services in Australia and New Zealand at GE Healthcare, my role involves overseeing safety, risk management, operations, developing people, leading teams, as well as ensuring that we're always developing an ever-improving customer experience. So before I started the program, I faced a few challenges, probably not unlike many other leaders, in trying to do it all, managing stress, making effective choices in a volatile and an ambiguous environment.
Yes, a lot of people are facing those type of challenges day to day, and it does take our energy. And it's also working out where to spend our precious time and energy in the right places, right? And what's going to give us the biggest impact. So how has the program, the neuroscience of leadership coaching and the PRISM 360 degree feedback, how has that actually helped you?
Vanessa, so the program provided me with the science-backed tools and strategies to enhance my leadership skills. And the PRISM 360 really helped me more about understanding how my brain works under stress and how to rewire those habits for better performance. The techniques, the focus areas that we really focused on together and through the program itself really helped me and my team around what was expected of me as their leader and letting them be their best selves every day.
And how has the program improved your ability to focus, prioritize, and make effective decisions under pressure and manage a huge workload?
Yeah, it was really more about helping me with that mental energy. So by understanding the neuroscience behind the stress and decision making, I was able to implement more strategies that helped me stay calm and focused, even that in those high pressure situations. For example, there was particular focus on starting using brain-based techniques for setting goals and tracking progress, which led to better performance and actually a more cohesive team.
And part of that, when you're talking about that, to go into a little bit of the specifics, that was really about winning the week. Can you tell us about winning the week and what that looked like and felt like? This is winning the week was born from these ideas and these coaching sessions.
Yeah, it was really, as you say, born out of the coaching sessions, my background in Lean Six Sigma,
Yes.
the book itself on winning the week, and really a combination of all those three that we work through together, really working on what is a standard work week and how we look at, those weekly practices.
And what's been the impact of that by implementing that? I know it's still fairly early days, but you have some learnings.
Absolutely is, right? So early days, but it's helped absolutely reduce the stress. We work on things that help improve the business and moving it forward, as well as, thinking through and actually performing our daily tasks and having a sense of achievement. But at some point, changing those habits becomes really difficult, right? And it takes time and persistence. So, inevitably when you regress, you need to notice that. You need to be forgiving of yourself and try again.
You know what's really interesting, Cassie, is that adult learning is so different to children, and I know you have kids and so do I. I have a son. But one of the things that when I was learning about the brain that's really fascinating is that kids tend to, if they really want something, they will ask you for it in 20 different ways. But as adults, because our brains are so full, we're doing so much and we go, go, go a lot of the time, is that we often only want to give something a go. And if it doesn't work, we throw that out the window and then we go to something else. And what's really amazing about you as a leader is that you're so persistent. You will give things a go and you won't just try it once. You will give it a go a few times or tweak it to actually make it work for you and your team. So I really admire that about you as a leader.
Thank you.
So tell us about what you've learned about rewiring and creating new habits via neuroplasticity. You're alluding to it just a moment ago, but can you expand on that? What have you learned about rewiring your brain?
Yeah, it's really more about establishing those routines, right? So if we think about winning the week, it's really about standard work. What does, for the most part, a week look like? What does every day? What are the things that I need to achieve? And when we think about rewiring, well, that's really sort of the leaning into what can be the challenges of breaking those habits, performing new ones. And so you really help with a couple of tools to be able to do that.
And it is repetition, but it's really being clear about what your goal is and why you want to achieve it. And then it's breaking it down into bite-sized chunks so that it's manageable for your brain because you've got so much going on. For all leaders, like what you talked about, some of the challenges you mentioned before, a lot of leaders are facing this. It's an overwhelm. There's more to do than there is hours. So how do we spend our precious time and energy working on the right things at the right time? And so the ingredients that are really key is, yes, it's repetition, but being really clear why it is that we're focusing on those particular behaviors and what's the impact it's actually going to give you from actually doing those behaviors and making those changes.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I mean, you and I have talked about on multiple occasions, really, the similarities between how I approached developing as an athlete and
Yes.
therefore as a leader, right? So breaking those, as you say, breaking things down into smaller, manageable chunks, approaching what's in front of you, but having that clear picture of what success looks like and where you're going. It's really important, that context and clarity for our teams. Having coaches and mentors. So again, thank you to you in helping with that. Taking the time for those things that give you your energy back, right? We talk about that and we'll emphasize that a lot, and that's what you and I have worked on. But I really appreciate how that has helped me develop, but also therefore give back for the team.
I love it. Absolutely. And you're right, there has been a lot of similarities in looking from your sporting career to your work career from a performance perspective and how to set that up for success. And I have really enjoyed the journey of learning about how we can actually draw the clarity from both your sporting career and also from your leadership career and how you can actually join the dots. So what's it like having me as your coach and guide, and what aspects of my approach has helped you the most?
I think having you as a coach has been incredibly supportive and empowering. I think I'll start with those two words, right? Your approach is very personalized. It's science-based. Again, that really resonates with me. You provide practical tools. There is no theory that is going to be effective in my mind anyway, unless there's a tool and something that you can tangibly try, right? Try differently. So how are you going to get a different outcome? So you really provided some of those practical tools and strategies to make it easier to implement. Your constant encouragement, your guidance helped me stay really committed to the process, because it's a process, and you have to be willing to take that time on and that effort. The coaching framework helps focus, and I think we talked a little bit throughout around emotional intelligence, and so how that can be practical and have a real impact as well.
And what about the PRISM 360-degree feedback? How useful has that been to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously in its nature, 360, there are a lot of elements of leadership, and understanding for yourself who you are, but also, and more importantly, as a leader, what your team are expecting of you. And so that was a real focus shift for me. I've been very performance based, getting things done, but that's not what my team needed. And so that was a hard truth that we've adapted and shifted on, and it's been really helpful.
But also, I think it also gave you an opportunity because you were always looking for the things that are not right, where there was just so much amazing feedback about your leadership. And I think it was nice to see that actually the feedback was really, really positive about your leadership and about how do we embrace that, take that, and then take it to that next level to where you want to match your vision and your goals.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for the reminder.
What have been the key outcomes, improvements, and impact for you as a leader and for your team?
Yeah. So I've always been a strong believer in the power of positive thinking and helping fuel the team by being high energy, open, and giving. But as the team grew and the responsibilities grew, we've worked together on ways that really help maintain those goals, but also not deplete myself of individual energy so that I am more effective and still true to myself about how I am as a leader. And then really particularly about recognizing the importance of setting boundaries and not overworking, particularly on the weekends. That's obviously been a significant change.
And we're not quite there yet, but we're almost.
Not yet. Not yet.
It's still work in progress, but I am happy to hear today that you're getting closer to that goal.
Indeed.
By the end of June, is that correct?
That's right, end of June.
So for anyone watching today who's considering going down this coaching leadership development journey, what advice would you have for them?
It would really be about embracing the effort. And that may be controversial, but it is effort. It's a challenge. You ask hard, true questions about where I am as a leader and how we move forward. And you don't let things go. Like if we're stuck on something, then we're going to go again, which is great, right? I really appreciate that. And so having that open-mindedness to the challenge and the effort is particularly something that I would say people need to lean into and embrace.
Thanks, Cassie. That's excellent. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. But also, you're an amazing leader. And I'm really glad that I've been able to add impact to you and your team. Because for me, that's what this is all about, is helping people to grow to that next level, to take the learnings and to keep on growing. So thanks, Cassie, for joining us. I appreciate it.
I thank you very much.